Welcome back. And today we are talking about three places where pressure lives, and one of them is actually harming you. It is breaking you. But the good news is today you get the map and you get to see it. So, what does this look like? The map will show you all three. Once you have the three, now from this place, you can purposefully put that pressure where it belongs. And that creates a nervous system that really makes a difference in your life. That gives you that feeling. Oh, so subtle, but it is incredible. And this is the thing that most people don't realize. So today, what we're doing is we're really going to show you the map. By the end of today, you will know the map so good that you will be able to take the littlest things that have been stuck in your memory and mind and place them where you want, giving you instant relief. So, are you ready? What I want you to think of right now is all the things swimming in your mind right now, just for today. Well, just do it for a second. Got some things coming up? Yeah. So you've noticed that there's a lot of things inside of you, inside of your mind. And that is the first place where, for most capable people, we carry that pressure there. And it's not because you've broken or you don't have a system. Your nervous system has just said, you know what, you're so good at this, you can handle problems very fast, more efficient, and you added more onto your plate. But what it did in the meantime is it leaves you that, for most part, it could feel a little bit uncomfortable, but you feel quite capable in actually carrying this weight until you don't, until one day you just go, this is too much, I can't handle this. And for those of you been there, you know that this place is actually quite a horrible, scary place, because the more often you see it, the more it gets worse. It's not a thing that you could just put down. It is like a pressure cooker over time that slowly over the years you've just added and added more, and that pressure gets to a point that eventually it needs to blow off some of that steam. And this is where you find that most capable people have systems that they've created in their mind that is always doing something. So at home, it could look like, I need to remember what to make for dinner. What are we doing? I need to have the kids' schedule on the fridge. I'm working out when we're going there, and I'm figuring out there, and I'm trying to remember everything, and I'm juggling these balls all day long. And I'm wondering, like, wow, this is heavy. Now, what you'll notice here is you've got a cognitive load that is heavy in your head. It feels like your head is full all the time. Like, you never have that empty spot where you just feel like you're thinking nothing. You know that feeling? Yeah. And there's a little bit, just a tiny little bit of a nervousness that sits behind it. It's not freaking you out, but it's just like, like that uncomfortableness without you realizing. But you kind of feel like, no, I can handle this. This is good. Until again, you don't. So, this is the place inside of you where the structure is held by you. You are the one that's pulling it all together. So let's think of some examples at work. At work, it could be, checking on everybody the whole time. Oh, that person hasn't done it the whole time. Or, there's no actual thing. And especially if you're in leadership, right? You either going to want to be doing everything yourself, or you're going to be micromanaging and checking the whole time. You are holding the schedules, you're holding the people, what they're accountable for, what needs to be done, what doesn't need to be done. It is heavy. And yes, I know you can do it because you're watching this video. Therefore, I know you can do it. But what is it costing you? That little bit of nervousness that you think, no, it's just a little bit. until it doesn't, that feeling, and now you end up in a burnout, or now you end up with a team or a structure that everything falls flat. My question to you is, if I take you out of your business today, will the people and the systems and everything be able to carry you? If your answer is somewhat, I want you to really pay attention to today, because this is the thing that's going to make or break you. And this is the thing that I get to see in my leaders that have their own businesses, is they are it. That's what I call them. They are it. Without them, there's no business. If that is you, or if you holding on so tightly reined and you're trying to remember everything for everyone, I want you to just really stop and go, what is this costing me? What is this costing my business? What is this costing my family? What is this costing my house? What is this costing? And when you get to that space, you might start asking different questions. Where else can I put this that life feels a little easier? So that was number one. That pressure lives inside of you. Then you get number two. Now, these people, after some time and lots of burnout and lots of thinking, started putting it in a system. Let me give you an example. You book a flight ticket. And as soon as you have the flight ticket, you automatically, it goes into your calendar, right? I bet you've had that before. You just click on it, it adds it to the thing, it puts the ticket in your phone or on an email, whichever you have pre-decided, and the boarding pass, the gates, and everything is in it. So when you arrive at the airport, you don't think, oh, which terminal, which gate. You literally just open up, look at your flight details, you're there on time, you get your flight, and off you go. You didn't physically think about it constantly, like every single day. Oh, I need to remember it's on this date, and when I get there this time, I need to board this flight at that gate, and I need to be there this time ahead. It's all done for you. So it's a silly example, but it is example that works. So think about this. If I had a handful of water, I put water inside, and I have to carry it from here, let's call it 50 meters somewhere else. I have to really focus and hope that the water isn't going to run out my fingers, and I'm going to have to really focus on it. Whereas I take the same amount of water and I put it in a glass and I walk around with a glass, less effort. You see, I'm not thinking about it. The system is carrying something that I normally would have to carry. So once you start systemizing things, in other words, you start systemizing, let's say, email campaign, and you put it out and you let the thing run. You want to pre-think it and put it in a system that is going to work for you, that is going to make your life easy, that you're not always thinking about it, that you're not always planning, that it's not something you have to hold, that it's actually there. Hence, people love things like planners and task listing, right? Because it helps them carry that cognitive load. And the less you have in your mind, the more creative you can be, the better you can function, and the more you keep going for the North Star. Otherwise, you end up like I ended up a few years ago, where I was carrying all the balls to a point that as soon as I fell apart, so did everything else, because there was nothing to hold it, nothing to hold everything for me. I was it. And I want you to think about this. When we said earlier, what is it costing you? It could cost you this. So hence, I always talk about this, because if you get the structure right, your business is right, your home life is right, your family is right, everything is right. I want you to think of structures right now. So feel where the pressure is and start adding, what structures do I need to do this? Here at Freedom Hub, we're not just doing the mind and home stuff, we also build the structures. So to take off some of that load for you. So to create a system or a dashboard that's going to hold all of that together for you. So you go one place, one thing, instead of remembering 20 apps to go to 20 things. See where I'm going with this? So what you want to do is you want to start figuring out what system is going to help me that I do not have to carry this load. In other words, if I, what's the old saying, touch wood, had to get sick and I'm not there for a week, my business is going to carry on running. And everybody will know exactly what to do. And then the last thing, the place where we carry pressure, is inside an automated system. Now, this is wonderful. Once you get to this stage, you've got a system that's holding this up, and now you automate the system. That's where you find true freedom. Because now you can go away for a month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, and your system is not dependent on you or a specific person. How does this look? It looks like you have automated all your tasks that is always on repeat, even when you're not there. So an easy example might be when you have an intake or you employing somebody in your business, you have to go through a whole training process. And then it might be a whole HR team or a whole this or a whole that. Whereas if you had to do the work once, for example, make a video, and you had to do an instruction or induction into your company, and this is how you do it, and you do it point by point. And now what you do is you take that and you put it into a system that now is your educational bank. The next time a person goes and another person comes in, all they do is watch the same video. You did the work once, you don't have to do all the training again, and that person has a fallback that if you're not there, they still get to learn from you the way you want to do it. We build that too, because this is the kind of stuff, if you've got a system that automates for you, so in other words, if you're going to do something more than once, over and over again, this is a system that needs to be automated. So once you do that, so you don't just have the system, but you've got the automation system going. Now what you find is you have power, because now you're not sitting awake at night thinking to yourself, oh boy, I need to remember this and that and this and this and this and that. And now you get overwhelmed and you actually forgetting, and this happened to me, because you're so like a rhino, you're stamping out fires all the time of all the things you're remembering and remembering what you forgot and having to do. That load becomes so heavy that you're not as creative, and you're forgetting about the reason why you started your project or why you started this in the first place. This goes for relationships. This goes for business. This goes for finances. This goes for everything in your life. And what ends up happening is you are not creating. If you're not creating, there's an old saying, you guys have heard this. If you're not creating or growing, you're dying. I want you to think about this. And yes, it's scary. I know. I want you to really feel that, right? So if you're just stamping out fires, you are not growing, because you don't give yourself that permission to think. Are you going, but I'm overwhelmed? Yes, because you're carrying the system. So you'll hear me speak about this all the time. But now that you know where the 3 places are where pressure lives, inside you, inside a system, or inside an automated system, now you can start deciding where it is. You feel it, then you're going to put it in a system, and then you're going to automate it. So that's how we work. We always talk about B. So if you find that you're the B, you need to change that. You're going to put it into a system, which we call build, right? You build and then you automate it. And that is how freedom is created. It doesn't happen from scratch. It happens with mindset, with the right tools and the right automation that gives you the space to breathe and create. You are a creator. You're not here to run a system into the floor every day. You are here to create and enjoy life. But you can't do that if you've got all of this holding onto you, or you holding onto it rather. So I know today's message is going to be aha, oh wow, that's awesome. okay, for a lot of you. And others might be sitting thinking about it for a little while and come back. And if you have a comment on the system that you love the most, I want you to comment below. What is the system that you love the most and why? Because that is going to show you if that works for another this area, maybe another could work in a similar area in your life. We build all four areas in one system. So start thinking big. But again, first you need something to hold your structure, not you hold your structure. And with that, we'll chat with you next week. Have a fantastic day. And so start systemizing and automating. This is how you create an awesome life.